5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So then Silk turns to Toast and he says, this season is going to be just like eating ass. But it's the ass of a homeless fat girl who binges on carne asada fries.
Oh, nice. Welcome to the Scafacci-verse.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Scafacci-verse. I am Anthony Scafacci.
I'm Alan Gigax.
And we are here, man. We're pretty excited, dude. We've got big things coming. And one of the big things coming, right, is college football 26 and a rumor.
Yeah.
Right?
Unsubstantiated rumor.
Unsubstantiated rumor, right, about... Well, go ahead.
Yeah, although by the time this episode drops, maybe it will be substantiated rumor.
Yeah, this episode is not slated for immediate release, but who gives a fuck, right? It's just, we got to
I'm slated for immediate release as soon as I get to your mama's house. Oh, zing!
I kind of set myself up
yes,
for that.
you did.
But no, this episode, I'm
going to take my time with her.
Oh, that's good. She's getting old, man. You might have to go slow.
No, I might have to get done just because I don't know how much time she's got left.
Dude, no, she was just in the hospital, man. So, yeah, she's getting old. My mom her birthday was the other day. So.
Oh, did you call her at least?
Yeah, I called her and everything like that. I got to go over and see her, but, I got to bring her some Vita water.
Geritol or
like
something.
That. No, man, she just, people get old, dude.
Dude, both my parents, well, let's move on.
Okay, yeah.
Move
right.
on to something wonderful, like our sponsors.
Yeah, let's talk about let's do our just the tip.
Yep.
Right. You said you had a good tip for us today.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the sponsor for Just the Tip, speaking of people getting old and dying, is the He Held On Foundation. Maybe our single most beloved sponsor.
Yeah, one of them.
Because they do good work. Yeah. And so it's He Held On.
It's either them or beef curtains.
Yeah, that's good too. Helping the elderly achieve their bucket list thanks to your generous financial donations. And now we go on to the tip itself.
Yeah, what do you got?
Which is, if you are fixing to start a podcast, like we are, people often will email me and say, hey, I'm looking to buy a microphone. What kind of microphone should I buy? And that's easy. It's the Shure MV7 Plus. It's the one you see on everybody else's podcast. It's a little pricey, but listen to those sounds.
Yeah,
baby.
dude.
It sounds very good.
I don't think they're that pricey.
I mean, you could spend a lot more on a
reasonable.
microphone if you wanted to. But really, the key to getting good sound on this podcast hasn't been the microphones. It's the mixing board.
I thought it was the golden pipes here.
Oh, that could be too.
Yeah.
Well, that's how what captures the natural, sultry essence of our voices.
Yeah.
So the mixing board, I have a Yamaha AG06. And I bought this one because these microphones use XLR cables to connect. And this microphone also has a USB out, which is the way I used to do. Just plug the USB right into your computer. And, dude, it's good enough to get you started. Just plug it right into your computer. Use any kind of recorder. It'll get you there.
Yeah, I mean, people can go and make their 3 podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. And then quit.
Yeah,
right.
and then they'll just be only $250 in the hole or
whatever.
Instead of
whatever.
I don't know.
1,000 or so that we're up to now.
We just keep adding to that. But
but anyway, the mixing board.
That's all about to change, man.
The money's going to be rolling in.
One day.
So the mixing board allows you to do things like adjust the levels of the microphone so that if Anthony and I are talking at different volumes, we can even it out because sometimes you get somebody on who's really quiet. And then the big thing is the other inputs. Getting back to your mom again, it's also my favorite thing about her.
Can be
those other
airtight.
inputs. That's right. And so I have an input from a second laptop that goes into the mixing board, and I can adjust the levels on the laptop. That's actually how we play our theme music. And so all this stuff...
Thanks, Chris Johnson.
Yes, thank you, Chris Johnson, for the theme music. All this stuff is made possible thanks to the mixing board.
Nice.
And that's been key.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good tip. Thank you to the He Held On Foundation for sponsoring the Just the Tip. Okay,
yes,
Al.
indeed.
So are you ready for today's topic?
Dude,
I know
a big one.
You like to be in the dark, but this in this case, you're not. You did a lot of the prep.
I
for this
did,
one.
yeah. So today's topic is Mascot fight.
Yeah, mascot mode. It's a big rumor. People are excited about it. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. Me, don't fucking care, right? Mascot mode is not something that I would play. I don't give a shit, but it is something that I will talk about gladly because I do like the Mascots. It's just not a mode I'm going to spend time playing because I have precious little time to play. And I've got to really focus in on what I want to get to.
Right.
And
I like seeing the Mascots on the field. It adds a little something to the game. You know, it's fun, especially the weird ones like the Western Kentucky or the Hilltoppers.
The red glob?
Yeah, the blob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have that on here. So in preparation for this, I had to go on to Wikipedia, and they have a list of all college football mascots.
Nice.
And dude, there's a fucking million of them.
Oh yeah, and
so I separated out by just FBS schools.
Okay, yeah, because just
Right.
the ones we'll see in the game itself. And so for me, you know, the Mascots, what I like most about them is like when you go to the little mascot cut scenes and they do stuff.
Yeah, they dance around.
They
or
dance
whatever.
or they do something, and I would like to see them do more of that kind of stuff because it does enhance the realism of the game, and it makes you feel like you are really in that stadium, and I like if they react to a good play or a bad play.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to see them maybe get a little drunk, like run around on the field, maybe hit somebody with like a golf cart, or maybe fuck up the opposing team's mascot.
All right, dude. So with that in mind, so with the research that I did for this, as I'm going through the list, it has every college at every level.
Sure.
You know, Wikipedia is good about stuff like that. And dude, the most outrageous mascot is from a small school, RISD, the Rhode Island School of Design.
The Rizzlers.
Oh, you wish. So the Rhode Island School of Design is where people learn to like design clothing and furniture and shit like that. It's all these artsy people.
Yeah.
And their mascot is named Scrody.
Dude, he sounds like he would fit right in with us here.
What do you think Scrody is? Because I had to click on it because I'm like,
Dude,
I know.
he's got to be a nutsack. He's a yam bag.
He's more than that. Scrody is an anthropomorphic penis.
Dude,
that is their real life fucking mascot.
This team has got to make it into the game now.
I know, right, dude? I need somebody on Team Builder to make this right now. And he actually does hijinks, and one of the things that he does during their games is he'll go to the other mascot and dry hump the other mascot.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fucking winner of a mascot.
How do you get that gig?
That's a great question.
Yeah, you used to be a mascot. A lot of people don't
know.
know.
Yeah, that's true. It was my first real job.
Alan used to be a mascot. Where were you a mascot?
At Parkway Plaza shopping
like a mall
in El Cajon, California.
Okay, and so Alan, were you a tennis ball? No, what were you?
So there were 4 mascots. Yeah. They were all sports related. There was Freddie the football.
How did you get this job?
I don't remember.
How did we not get? Yeah, like how did you decide that's what you're gonna do?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago. It was my first job. I was like a junior in high school.
All right, so this is a project for another episode.
Well, hey, you asked me a question. I'm going to answer your fucking question.
Go ahead. Well,
so there was Freddie the football, and it was like you had your legs come out of the bottom of the costume, like in a big like overalls.
Okay.
And then you put the costume. It was just a giant head that would go like from your waist up. And the problem with Freddie the football is that it was really wide, and so you had to like it was really only the taller people who could use it because you had to have your arms way out
and you got
to come out.
T-Rex arms.
Yeah, so I really couldn't do Freddie the football.
Okay,
but luckily there was also Molly the softball.
Yeah,
Pinky the tennis ball, and I forget what the baseball was, but those were all pretty straightforward. And what I loved about that is, in the costume, sometimes girls would come up and hug the costume, hug this character, and they didn't know that I was like inside with a rager. And so that was nice. That was fun.
Blowing loads inside
dude, you know what I didn't realize until right now is that it was so goddamn hot inside of those costumes, and that prepared me for my future career at the post office.
Yeah, I mean, you were inside of a costume inside of a mall in San Diego.
At least it was air conditioned in the mall. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were like at the Boulevard Mall? You'd be dead.
Oh, dude, that's a mall here in Las Vegas. Yeah, or like one of the outdoor malls.
Yeah,
that,
your costume would have been like a volcano.
Hey, sometimes when those girls were hugging me, my costume was like a volcano.
I'm gonna erupt. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I want to talk about these mascots. So we're going to talk about mascots in like 2 general ways.
Okay.
Well, first would be like mascot fights.
Sure.
And like if this mascot took on the other mascot.
Would this be like in a full contact fight, like in a
Oh,
MMA?
it's a fight to the death.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is a fight.
It's mascot death match.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I want to make a distinction here because one of the things I didn't realize is that a lot of these schools have real live animals, living animals.
Oh my God, for real?
That are their mascots. Yeah, I'll just give you a couple of
The
examples.
silverback gorillas.
Dude, like the Baylor Bears.
They have an actual bear?
Joy and Lady, who are two live black bears.
Holy
and
shit.
those are their mascots, in addition to Bruin and Marigold, who are their costume mascots.
Okay.
But dude, real fucking bears.
Yeah.
There's I think it
That's
might be
awesome.
Memphis.
Has it? I
Yeah,
wonder if
dude.
it's ever mauled anybody on the sidelines. I mean, it's still
Probably.
a wild animal. Yeah.
Dude, you would hope. That's why you bring the bear in.
Dude, I would let the bear play defensive tackle.
Yeah, I'd be disappointed if that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what Memphis's mascot is? You remember their nickname?
Isn't he like? I always thought he was the hamburger.
No, the school. Yeah, the Hamburglar. That's right. It's the Memphis Tigers.
Oh yeah.
And dude, they have Tom the Third, who is a live, real fucking tiger.
No
a
shit.
legit real tiger. And then they have Pouncer, which is the mascot tiger, the costume tiger. Dude, so you get like a bear. Well, okay, so I got to give the edge on this one, like to Baylor, because two bears.
Okay,
against
sure.
one tiger.
Yeah,
You know, they got
bears
two
versus
bears,
one tiger.
which I presume are a husband and wife
you know-
living in a monogamous relationship.
Do you know what kind of tiger it is? Is it like a Bengal tiger, or is it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
What are the other kind of tigers? There's Bengal
like,
tigers.
There's like those Bengal tigers. Then there's like those.
That's
giant...
the only one you know.
No, yeah, maybe it is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But there's like the white tigers. There's all kinds of different tigers. There's like Asian tigers. There's different kinds of tigers.
All right. I'll assume that's true. Otherwise, they wouldn't make a distinction for the Bengal tiger.
Yeah.
Because it would just be a tiger.
Yeah, exactly. There'd just be
right.
one
You don't
tiger.
give it a name. All right. So then there's other live mascots that aren't quite as intimidating, like the Navy midshipman. They have Bill the Goat in a costume.
Oh, that's right,
But they
yeah.
also have Bill the Goat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. The Oklahoma Sooners have two ponies that pull their
The wagon,
like the
right?
wagon, yeah, and that's Boomer and Sooner,
Yeah, I
which
thought
are
they
good
used
names.
a giant bull or something like that. To
Dude,
pull
that's
it.
Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Texas Longhorns have an actual longhorn fucking steer.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
That is his name is Bevo or
Yeah,
Bevo
Bevo.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bevo. Dude, and I like Bevo's chances against a lot of other animals. Maybe
well,
not
he's
against
fucking up that goat for sure.
Yeah, that definitely is taking it to the goat. Maybe not against two bears, but they're
yeah.
black bears. If they were grizzly bears,
I still like his odds. I think
Yeah.
bears are smart enough to just like bail out on that. That's a goddamn bull. He's like
yeah, dude, he's
1,200
so
pounds
big.
or something
And then
like that.
there's a lot of like bulldog teams that have live bulldogs.
Yeah,
like
well,
Ugga.
Georgia
Yep.
has a bulldog. Yeah,
Right. Yep. Famously, Ugga. There is, dude, the Texas A&M Aggies. They have a live dog as their mascot. That's a collie.
Isn't an Aggie though? I thought an Aggie was also a bull. of some
No,
sort.
an Aggie is like a farm worker, an agricultural person.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's what
But they
it's
couldn't
Texas
They couldn't
agricultural
find
and
somebody to
military.
just cross the border and strap him into a costume and make him be the Aggie.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
they use a dog named Reveille. And so, hey,
doesn't
I
make any
root for
sense.
dogs,
Yeah.
but a dog ain't gonna stand up to two bears or a bull.
Well, so is this like the Royal Rumble now, where it's like
No,
the bears
no,
are
we're
just
just
in
kinda-
there, and it's like
look,
last animal
It
standing?
took me almost 2 hours or like an hour and a half to just go through all these
Yeah.
teams. I certainly didn't have it in me to make a bracket.
Oh my God, that's the Owls music.
Well, dude, so speaking of owls,
Yeah.
there are a number of schools that use live owls as their mascot, and there's a bunch of different birds that have, bird mascots. So if you're talking in a fight, there's a couple of Falcons.
Yeah.
And like the Bowling Green and, of course, Air Force. And so to me, the Falcons are going to beat any other kind of bird because that's
Sure.
what Falcons do. They kill other birds.
Yeah, and some of those birds are probably pretty peaceful birds, like the cardinal.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
really doing shit.
Yeah,
to a
right.
falcon.
Yeah, Cardinal ain't going to fuck with a Falcon.
No, it's just gonna get mollywopped.
Right. And so I think among all the birds, initially you would think like, okay, top spot's going to go to the Air Force Falcon.
Yeah.
Because they have an actual Falcon.
So you think a falcon's taking an eagle? Is that like?
Well,
has
so
that, have we
that's
done?
that's
Yeah.
it, right? First you think the Falcon. And by the way, Air Force.
Yeah.
Dude, the bird, that's the name of the bird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would
The
be
bird.
good if they used it to give other people the bird, and that was like
Yeah,
kind of the
maybe
the
so.
thing.
But yeah, dude, an eagle for sure is going to beat a Falcon. Because eagle's like twice the size of a
yeah,
falcon.
because like I've seen eagles carry away a small child.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So the eagles of all the birds, I think you got to give it to the eagles.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know.
But not
don't
of
the Falcons
all-
do like crazy dive bombs and stuff
They
like
do.
that?
They do.
Yeah.
And the peregrine falcon is the fastest creature on Earth. And so, maybe it could outrun an eagle.
Yeah.
But when it comes scrapping time, my money's on the eagle. But, dude, how do you measure an eagle against Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders?
Well, first off, let's not fuck with Middle Tennessee State.
Well, you know what
It
their
is-
mascot is?
It's a Blue Raider. It's
No.
it's from they kidnapped one of the Las Vegas Raiders, and they kidnapped a blue man. They made him had a baby.
Yeah, from Las Vegas.
yeah,
Right?
and
If a
then-
blue man and a raider,
Yeah, and then
had made a baby.
Yeah.
No, dude, the name is Lightning, and it's a fucking Pegasus.
Okay, well,
So-
Pegasus have a horn, don't they? No, that's a
I
unicorn.
don't know.
Pegasus
I
have
think
wings.
Pegasus have wings, but they're also like 10 times the weight of an eagle.
Yeah, but they could fucking like donkey kick.
Yeah,
but
they
I guess
kick
it would
the
be
eagle,
a horse
right?
kick.
So I think
Yeah.
among the flying creatures, I think you got to go with
yeah, now the Pegasus gonna fuck up that eagle.
right.
Yeah, he's
right,
gonna just
exactly.
trample him.
Yeah, so
Take a
other
rainbow
birds
poop
like
on him or
there's
something.
various ducks and shit like that. Dude, Seymour of Miami,
Yeah.
the Miami Hurricanes.
Wait. So let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
Okay. So they are the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Right. But they have a duck
Well,
as the
it
mascot.
turns out no, we're stupid.
Okay.
Seymour is not a duck.
What the fuck is
Seymour is an ibis.
The fuck's that?
Yeah, it turns out it's some kind of skinny leg bird. Well, I guess they're all skinny leg that has like this long hooked beak.
Okay.
But the Seymour costume doesn't have a long hooked beak.
Oh yeah, I've
So-
seen that guy, dude. He's like hangs out. And he's
Yeah.
got, like he looks like
It looks like a duck to me. I always thought it was a duck.
no. Dude, we're gonna
Yeah.
piss off some Miami. But
Yeah, we probably are. But
the
that's why we're doing this. This is
the-
a public service.
Yeah, but the problem is here they're the Hurricanes.
Yeah. What
Right?
the fuck
Or
does
the
an ibis
Canes.
have
They're
to
just
do
the
with
Canes,
the
I
hurricane?
think, right?
No, I think they're the Hurricanes.
Yeah, right. But they're not. But they got a bird mascot.
Yeah,
right?
which
An avian
famously
mascot.
don't do well in hurricanes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it does not
Yeah.
make any sense.
Right.
So
Their
I wanna get
fucking
to-
their mascot should just be the 9mm.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some of these other mascots that I found just as I was going through the list. Like the UNC School of the Arts, North Carolina School of the Arts.
Okay, it's an easel.
Yeah, no, it's the Fighting Pickle.
The fighting pickle. That's what
Yeah.
my wife calls my penis.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's
the
like-
University of Houston at Clear Lake is Blocky, which is just an anthropomorphic block.
Like a Lego.
Yeah, or maybe like a. I didn't look up the picture
Dude,
of
can
it.
you imagine how much shit their rival school talks about them?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Dude, your mascot is fucking lame.
Dude.
Right? Yeah, it's a
And
block.
then the Richmond Spider. This one's clever.
The
Richmond
spiders
Spiders.
are cool. Everybody's afraid of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And their mascot, because sometimes it's like a clever pun, a play
Charlotte.
on words. It's Charlie. The fuck are you talking about?
Charlotte
Oh,
from Charlotte's
Charlotte.
Web.
Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. Yeah.
Yeah.
Their mascot is called Webster.
That's a pretty motherfucking charming pig.
Yeah, exactly. He had to be 10 times as charming as that. Arnold from Green Acres. All right. And then the Delta Statesman is the Fighting Okra.
The fighting okra?
Yeah. Now,
well, dude, have you ever had really spicy gumbo?
yeah, maybe that's what
Yeah.
they were thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
it'll burn up your dirt hole on its way out. But dude, so we were just talking about the ducks, like the Oregon Ducks. Dude, the Oregon Duck isn't going to beat any other mascot, but it'll fuck up some okra.
Yeah, but doesn't he ride a motorcycle?
The Oregon Duck?
Yeah, he's always on the back of a motorcycle.
Dude, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, he's from Sons of Anarchy.
So the one that I really want to get to, because this is kind of what inspired the whole list, is the Stanford Cardinal.
Okay.
Their mascot is a motherfucking tree.
Yeah, that's super on fucking, like on the nose.
Dude, and it looks like if you go on a Google image search and put in like Stanford Tree, it looks like a third grader put this tree costume together.
Fucking MS Paint tree.
Yeah, dude, it looks like shit.
But those are the smart kids.
And the tree isn't going to instill fear into anybody, especially like conference rival. I don't know if they're still in the same conference, like the Oregon Beavers.
Yeah.
Beaver's
Yeah.
going to fuck up a tree.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
dude, how do they ever win a game? Like,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so whatever competition you're doing, the tree ain't
So,
winning.
Okay, but the tree, why the tree? Like,
Because they have the redwood trees there.
Okay,
And so,
yeah, but-
the redwood tree is impressive.
but they're the
I will grant
Stanford
that.
Cardinals. Why not just go with a cardinal?
Maybe they also have a cardinal as a mascot.
Maybe
but
they could have, like, the archdiocese.
But this is what's stupid about the Stanford Cardinal is the tree is stupid,
Yeah,
obviously.
fuck that tree.
But also, it's not cardinal the bird; it's cardinal the color.
Oh my god! So it's not even a bird?
No, dude, Stanford. Fuck Stanford.
So I know there's the Louisville Cardinals,
Yeah, that's the bird.
right? And then now there's a Stanford Cardinal.
Yeah,
Right, no
that's
plural.
cardinal the color, right?
Yeah.
And that's
so I guess
exactly.
they don't have to have like a loser loses like
Loser leaves town.
Yeah, like loser leaves town.
Dude.
Loser loses mascot match.
There are mascots on here where two mascots have the exact same name.
Give me one.
All right, like Swoop is apparently a fairly popular name for a bird mascot.
Yeah, cool,
like
right.
the Miami Redhawks, they have Swoop the Hawk.
Yeah.
As their mascot. And I have these alphabetical right now by school name.
Sure.
So take my word for it. There's another Swoop.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'll go
Yeah.
ahead and defer to you on this.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into another matchup here. Let's say, and I want to bring in another Division II school, another
Okay.
smaller school. So we got the Stanford Tree, all right,
Yeah.
going toe-to-toe against the Northern Arizona mascot, Louie the Lumberjack. Who you take?
I gotta go with. Okay, so like this one could be one where the lumberjack, right, initially looks like the winner.
Yeah, you don't
but
say.
the
Yeah.
tree falls on him,
Okay.
kills him, right? Like squashes him because lumberjacks. That's a dangerous job,
Yeah, and it's a big tree.
right? And
you know,
trees do
like a
fall on
redwood tree.
lumberjacks.
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
And if it's a redwood, those things are like as big as a goddamn house. You
Yeah.
know, like
That's true. They're like
right?
200 feet tall or something.
Yeah, and they're wide. Like you
They
can
are
drive a
wide.
car through them.
Yeah.
So maybe the
Hey,
lumberjack.
I like to think of them as girthy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to hit all the spots.
Yeah, I
right?
bet you they have the girthiest mascot.
They do. Yeah, that's how they should advertise
Yeah,
it.
even girthier than Sacky or Scrody.
Yeah, Scrody.
Even girthier than Scrody. Yeah.
But yeah, like those teams, why don't they get together and I mean, like seriously, they got to hash this out.
Yeah, they do. That should be a rivalry. That could be one of the ways you form your rivalry.
Back in the day, I had a Trojans dynasty. And every year I would schedule USC in a game early in the season. Like if I could make it their first game, I would.
Right.
And it was the battle for the right to be called the Trojans.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
And then the losing team, which was always USC because I would fuck them up.
Yeah, damn right.
Would now become like associated with the condom. Right. And that's,
Okay.
Yeah, they were
right. They're Trojan the condom,
they're
not Trojan the
condom.
warrior.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. That's good. That makes sense.
Yeah,
they should do that.
Exactly. Like, how are these schools not? Especially like USC's not even that good anymore.
Right.
Like,
Incidentally,
this is the Trojans moment to
Right.
try to make good on that.
Yeah, dude, I like the way you're thinking. Incidentally, USC is one of the other schools that has a live animal as their mascot, and that is the horse. His name is Traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have a Trojan though.
Yeah, there's a dude on the horse too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not as interesting.
But he's not the mascot. It's the horse.
I don't know, dude. Wikipedia, this is why Wikipedia is not, the be all end all. But
Yeah. Because you
So-
know that Troy Trojan
Yeah.
at USC, that dude is smashing. Like he's yoked as fuck.
yeah,
Like,
dude, he's got abs.
Yeah.
That dude's tray fuckable.
Yeah, that dude I mean, he's got to be smashing like all day, all night. You're the fucking Troy Trojan. I mean,
Right.
like that's a good gig, I think, if you're in college.
Hey, another swoop. Of all crazy things, the Utah Utes has Swoop the Hawk.
The two Utes.
Yeah, the two Utes.
Yeah, everything
Right.
that guy just said is bullshit.
Yeah, and how do the Utes even get a hawk? Like, it should be a Ute
Well,
Indian
isn't
or
a
something.
Ute a bird?
No, a Ute is a type of Indian.
Oh, you know what I'm
American,
thinking of? Is,
you know,
the Vancouver Canucks. A Canuck is a bird, I
a
think.
Canuck is a bird?
That's what I heard.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's a completely different sport, but still, I heard the Canuck is a bird.
Yeah, that very well may be true.
Yeah.
So, dude, there's some cool ones out there, like with fun names, I think, like UTEP Miners.
Okay.
It's Pay Dirt Pete.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one. I like.
I wonder if
we
their
have-
home announcer yells, "We hit pay dirt," when they score a touchdown or something. Like
that definitely could be the Tulane Green Wave. That is another bird one. It's a pelican.
that. Really? How
Yeah,
is they,
but it's a good name. It's Riptide.
oh, that is a good name.
That's
but
a
they
good
should
name
have
for a
just had a
pelican.
giant thing of water they could throw at people, and it just goes away, and then it comes back again. like it's a wave. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like just get a huge wave machine and put it down in the end zone,
Like
and,
the wave pool from the water
yeah,
park,
and then
something like that.
and every
yeah.
once in a while it could go nuts, and there'd be like a tsunami, and it would just wipe out the opposing team, and that would be cool.
Yeah. All right. So
They'd
let's
win more
start getting
games
into
if they did
some
that.
supernatural figures, because in any real fight, it's going to be the supernatural figures who win out.
Sure.
Except for one. There's one supernatural figure ain't going to beat anybody, and that is from those pussies at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Their mascot, of course, is
Yahweh, right?
the leprechaun. Yeah. Well, Yahweh. Yeah, Yahweh might be able to beat a few people.
Yeah.
But their mascot is a leprechaun. A leprechaun ain't going to beat anybody.
No, but unless he's that mean fucking leprechaun from the movies.
From the movie The Leprechaun, I'm the leprechaun. I'm
Dude,
going to get you.
Yeah, that guy
Yeah.
would rip your testicles off.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
that guy.
true.
He was a mean
They got to
little,
rebrand.
He was a totally mean little fuck,
Yeah,
too.
dude, they should rebrand.
Right? And you know, what was that chick from Friends was in that movie?
Yeah, Courtney Cox.
No, not Courtney Cox. It's
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
I'm pretty sure it was Courtney Cox.
No, it was Jennifer Aniston. Was in one of
Okay.
the early Leprechaun movies with her fucking fancy hair. And
Right.
yeah, she actually got hotter on Friends. Just
She
sidebar.
did, dude. She was hot for a long time, but yeah, she did
like
get hot.
Leprechaun Jennifer Aniston
Yeah.
versus Friends Jennifer Aniston.
Say more fuckable as
Oh,
Friends
dude.
Jennifer Aniston.
Dude, yeah, infinitely better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you take clientless Jennifer Love Hewitt, a totally hot and super
Yeah.
fuckable, compared to Can't Hardly Wait Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, but Can't Hardly Wait Jennifer Love Hewitt is supposed to be like a high school chick.
Yeah, but she's not really. She's like 19, 20 probably.
I
All right,
don't
let's
know.
do I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah,
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
was she still in high school there or college?
The story was she was in high
Yeah,
school.
you know what movie she was super
Tuxedo.
super hot? No, the one where with Sigourney Weaver, where
Oh yes,
Where
dude!
they-
where they like take advantage of men and steal
Yeah.
their money and shit.
I forget the name of that-
Heartbreakers or
yeah,
something
I
like
think
that.
it was Heartbreakers
Yeah.
or something like
Oh,
that.
dude, spilled a
that
lot of
Jennifer
seed to
Love
that
Hewitt,
one.
forget about it, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's-
yeah. She was smoke.
yeah.
She was a smoke show then. She was.
That she
Yeah,
was.
she was. The fucking guy Myers, whatever the guitarist guy. He smashed that.
Mike Myers?
No, the fucking
I don't know.
Your Body is a
Guitarist.
Wonderland. That guy.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
guy.
All right, good
All right,
job. Well, we've accomplished essentially nothing.
Yeah, dude, this
Yeah.
has been a great episode.
It has.
This
yeah.
has been fun.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
I want to give you one more just to get
Okay.
your take. Arizona State,
The Sun Devil. Yeah.
versus Duke, the Blue Devil.
The Blue Devil.
Yeah,
That's
which
a-
devil you got?
Well, okay. You know, I kind of want to go Sun Devil, but if you've ever actually seen the costumes, the Sun Devil looks fucking retarded.
He
Dude,
does.
Yeah.
It's a leotard.
Dude,
that's
it
the
is
problem.
so
and
bad.
it looks every bit like a
Yeah,
leotard.
it's so bad. Like by now, they could have come up with something much meaner.
Yeah, at least the Blue Devil has pants.
Yeah, well, and the Blue Devil looks cool. He's got like a big fucking head, and he's got a goatee, and like
Yeah.
he looks like he would, have a
Dude, you're right. He would have like real devil powers.
Yeah, and he's blue,
Right.
versus just
Whereas
I'm
the
not-
Sun Devil's just going to prance
I
around.
wonder
I'm
where
the Sun Devil.
yeah, I wonder where the Blue Devil came from. It's something maybe we'll have to research, like why the Blue Devil. Where's the lore there?
Yeah, right.
Like, we should probably
Maybe-
talk to one of our guests, Frank Cobble. He probably knows. Like,
Yeah, he very well
Yeah.
may. Well, I didn't think it was going to go that way. I thought for sure the Sun Devil was going to win, but
nah,
but
dude, I
think
can't.
you're right.
I think the Sun Devil, dude, he's fucking lame.
Yeah, dude. All right, I can't argue with that.
What's the dude? Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
The Arizona Wildcats. They have
Yeah.
a wildcat.
Yeah.
Mascot. Do they
Yeah.
have a living wildcat?
Let me look it up. I just okay, Arizona Wildcats. There's my spreadsheet. Get that back open. Arizona
I know we
Wildcats.
gotta
no,
wrap. We gotta wrap.
They
this up,
have
so.
a loving married couple, monogamous.
Yeah.
Wilbur and Wilma T. Wildcat. I presume that the T stands for the.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. It could also stand for testicle.
All right.
Could be. Yeah.
Hey, all right. So look, we got to wrap this thing up, man.
Yeah, we do. This
what's
is
our-
way too much nonsense.
Yeah. What's our sponsor? Yeah.
our sponsor?
I feel like we covered good ground here, though.
We did. We did important work. Yeah, no question. No question. All right. So this week's episode is sponsored by Squirter's Juice Bar. Stop in for a refreshing and satisfying splash of the finest juices the Boston area has to offer. Unlike other juice bars, Squirter's also offers self-service. When you pick out your produce and press that button, the juice doesn't just drip into your glass, it gushes. Guaranteed to satisfy any thirst. And remember, at Squirters, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Get your face in the place.
All right. What an amazing episode. I thank you. I thank everybody that listens to the podcast.
We're doing the good work, the important work.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody in the SAC for tuning in. And for Anthony Scafacci,
I'm Alan Gigax.
This has been a Balls Deep production of the Scafacciverse podcast. We are out.